Hello everyone, I'm Prakash Senadaraja. This is my assignment 3 about internship presentation. Description of my internship. Location. I had a privilege to work with Dr. Jennifer Lafia at her Mental Health in the Digital Age Lab at Faculty of Education in Ontario Tech University. Purpose of this internship: finding apps for reporting bullying in school, develop literature review to understand apps, create teacher's guide with activities about bullying in school. Rationale for this internship: I always wanted to know more about bullying in school. I understand that bullying is a big ongoing issue in school that leads students to get more mental health issue in school. I also understand that teachers have big responsibility to reduce bullying in school. My responsibility for this internship was review some videos that was provided by Dr. Lafia about the errors and appropriateness for the videos, analyze some journal articles or research about bullying apps, help to create teacher's guide as I mentioned. Inquiry question. I made this inquiry question for my internship, that is, what are some effective bullying apps for students to report about bullying in school and how can they be used in classroom? Learning goal for my internship was identify some apps for students to report about bullying, review some literature about identified apps, analyze how can they be used in my own classroom. Success criteria: at end of this internship, I will be able to find some effective apps for students to report about bullying in school, understand the pros and cons about those apps, and implement those apps in my own classroom. Research finding. For this internship, I read and analyzed 5 different research articles. First one from Ferreira and Retana's research. This research talk about and compare 10 leading apps that can be used by students to report about bullying in school. And this article conclude that some of these apps help students to report bullying safely and comfortably. Also, the article mentioned that the students who use this app to report about bullying get reduce their mental health illness. The second research about Terry's research, this research mostly about regulation of those mobile apps. They discuss about quality, safety, and data protection of those apps. And the article also mentioned providers' responsibility regulation in these apps. Also, the teacher, admin, and parents' involvement about using these apps. Finally, the article concluded that further study must be carried out in order to use these apps potentially. The other 3 articles helped me to identify the 3 leading mobile apps that can be used reporting bullying by students. The first article was about Carswell's research article. This concluded that students were able to use these apps to report bullying or cyberbullying anonymously and get the school admin involved in this process. The second research from Wendy and Donna's research. This is another app called Stop It. This app helped students to report students' safety and misconduct concerns before they escalate into crisis or other legal matters. The third app is called Media Kits. The public research mentioned that students can use this app to report students' behaviors, any potential harming at school to get immediate action. Based on the knowledge I gained from this course and the weekly reading, I came up with Cope's 1984 model as very good fit for my internship research. This model had three process. First one is concrete experience. I was experienced and engaging in finding some research to get some idea about bullying apps. The second stage is reflective observation. I reviewed and reflected on identified apps and comparing their consistencies and pro and cons. The third process is abstract conceptualization. Throughout the reflected process, I was able to create or modify my own conclusion from existing abstract from the research article that I read. The final fourth stage is about active experiment. I wish I could do this process to plan and try out what I learned and concluded from this research internship process to test my hypothesis in their own classroom. But unfortunately, based on the limited 20 hours internship, I wouldn't be able to do this process. Key insight. Based on the abstract and conclusion from my research article, they concluded mobile apps are fast growing, user friendly, and evidence for helping reporting about bullying, reducing mental health illness in school. The flip side of this research, there are pros of some regulatory issues that are safety, quality, and data protection of those apps. The article or research also mentioned that some apps are failed to provide the coherent risk of assessment. And some research clearly mentioned that further study must be done in order to use these apps potentially. Based on my knowledge and research article summarizing, I came up with this conclusion. We can encourage students to use those apps to reporting about bullying. We need to validate this app before they used by students. Let students know the purpose and importance of those apps. Get school admin, parent involved and familiar with those apps. Keep track the efficiency of those apps and feel free to upgrade or modify the features of those apps. If we make our student to feel free and feel safe to use these apps, they can absolutely make a peace and happy classroom in the future. This is conclude my presentation. Thank you for listening my presentation.